Namaste, Jai Hind, and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. I'm Anand Narsimhan. Your channel, CNN News 18, has been at the forefront in exposing how farmers' land in Karnataka's Vijayapura area is being grabbed, usurped. On Friday, here on the channel, we told you how farmers were being given notices by Tehsildar asking them to vacate occupied land. And here, this Monday edition, 3 days after the expose, CNN News 18 has accessed documents that show how the Waqf board's name was inserted in land records of 44 properties in Vijayapura in just the last 3 weeks, ladies and gentlemen. Land records were changed without giving notices to farmers in several cases, leaving the farmers in the taluk shocked. The farmers say there was no notice or any hearing, as records show that Waqf board's name made it to column number 11 of the RTC just 2 days after Karnataka Waqf Minister Zamir Ahmad Khan's meeting with the officials. First, let's break down what has transpired in the last 4 days, including this day, that is Monday, and why the Congress is under fire. First up, the farmers claimed they received notices to vacate land after facing outrage. The Congress called the notice an error. Then, the Waqf board's name was inserted in the records. The Congress has now called it a procedural lapse on part of the administration. The documents show that the mutations were done overnight. The Congress has now cancelled the land mutations. The farmers allege that these notices to them were sent after the state's Waqf minister met them. The Congress government sees a BJP plot accusing them of misleading the people. There's more news. Even as the BJP alleges Minister Zamir Ahmad Khan was exerting pressure behind the Vijayapura Waqf land changes, CNN News 18 has accessed the Waqf Adalat meeting video of October 7 and 8. A day after this RTC mutation was started with the inclusion of the Waqf name. This is what Zamir Ahmad Khan is seen telling people, the officials especially, at that meeting.
ನಾನು ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಇದು ಒಪ್ಪಂದ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿಂದಲೇ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ ತಾವು ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳಿದ್ದೀರಾ ನೀವೇನೋ ನಾಮಕೆ ವಾಸ್ತವ್ಯ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಮಂತ್ರಿ ಒಪ್ಪಂದ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ನಿಮ್ಮ ತಲೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಟ್ರು ನಾವು ಒಪ್ಪಂದ ಮಾಡಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನಾನು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಕಾನ್ಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಒಂದು ತಿಂಗಳು ಟೈಮ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಬಹಳ ಜನ RDPR ಅವರು ಮುನ್ಸಿಪಾಲಿಟಿ ಅವರು 45 ದಿನ ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ 45 ದಿನ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನಾನು ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಕಾನ್ಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಕಾನ್ಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಮುಖಾಂತರ ಮೀಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು ಇದು ಮಾನ್ಯ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿ ಗಮನಕ್ಕೆ ನಾನು ತಂದೆ ನಾನು ವಕ್ಫ್ ಮಿನಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಮಾನ್ಯ ಮುಖ್ಯಮಂತ್ರಿಗಳಿಗೆ ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದ್ಸತಿ ನಾವು ರಿವ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗ್ತದೆ ಮಾನ್ಯ
Harish Upadhyaya, who's been bringing us this story, and he was the first to get us this story here at CNN News 18, joining us live. Harish, Zamir Ahmad Khan in this clip that we have accessed, very clearly saying that you think I'm just going to come and go. I'm going to come back in 45 days. I want to see what is happening. Is this the allegation that we are making, that this was where he was trying to apply pressure on the ministers? Or is there a correlation between this meeting and what happened in the taluks thereafter?
Well, if you look at the whole sequence of events, 7th and 8th he's in Vijayapura. This meeting that we are showing right now happens on the 7th of October. And the mutations in the RTC start happening from the 9th of October. In fact, if you go back to another clip that we have accessed, it's also from Vijayapura. He can be seen boasting. He says, not just in Vijayapura, I was in Bidar in a similar meeting earlier, and within days of that Waqf Adalat, we had katas happening to our properties. So he's boasting about it. He's saying that within 45 days, we go back to the Waqf board, call a video conference meeting, and we will review it. Now, what the BJP is saying that all these changes that have happened in Vijayapura is because of this pressure exerted by the Minorities Welfare Minister, Zamir Ahmad Khan. They're also saying, can a minister set such a tight deadline? Because these are revenue processes that have a set of rules to be followed. For example, a notice has to be issued to the farmer. He has to be given at least 2 weeks time to come and submit his documents. In case he needs time, then he will have to seek more time. Can all this be done in 45 days? Can the minister give such unrealistic deadlines? And is it because of this pressure that the Indi Tehsildar decided to not even give notice or have a hearing and directly change RTC and land records of 41 properties there?
True. Is this the translation of the other purported video that we've got? It's about 34 seconds, Harish. From 10-15 years, several applications have come for Kata. There are a total of 330 applications in Vijayapura. We are not doing Waqf Adalat to put applications in the dustbin. After Waqf Adalat, what we do is hold a concerned department meeting where AC, DC, Tahsildar and the RDPR department officials are there, and police department as well. We give them deadline to solve our problem in 1 month. In Bidar, our Waqf Kata was pending for 10-15 years, and after Waqf Adalat, the revenue officials handed over Kata in days. We give 1 month time, and after that we sit in Waqf board and take details, asking what has happened in 1 month that they had sought. In Bidar, you won't believe 310 Katas were done and handed over. Only 70 is pending. 11 encroachments were there. We have cleared 4 and remaining will be cleared in 15 days time. In Waqf Adalat here today, 700 plus Katas have been done, which have been pending for 10-15 years, and after that there is something called flagging, even that has been done. Is this all Zamir Ahmad Khan? What is he trying to say here or do here?
Well, in fact, he's going on boasting about what his Waqf Adalat has done. He's held it in multiple districts across Karnataka now. He's saying that changes to the land record of the Waqf board is happening at a faster pace. Yes, it's been a grouse of the government that in certain places where the title is very clear, the Waqf department hasn't taken RTC or proper land documents. Here he's talking about the kind of tight deadline that they're giving to the DCs, the ACs and the Tehsildars, and he's boasting about it, saying just days after the Waqf department, Waqf Adalat in Bidar, the Katas were done. Whether they were legitimate, whether there were claims, counterclaims, that is something we are not aware of. But the revenue department, the pace at it which works in Karnataka, definitely doesn't happen at this pace. So clearly there is pressure that's coming from the minister. Now the government has to answer. The Tehsildar, who's now facing the music, has to answer if he did this because of this kind of pressure that came in from the minister. The BJP, on the other hand, is saying this was this pressure. It was this pressure by Zamir Ahmad Khan that resulted in such major discrepancies in the revenue land records in Vijayapura, and it's been done at his behest.
Right.
And they are saying the timeline also matches.
Well, thank you for your reportage and covering of this story, and you've got us these details here at CNN News 18. So commendations on that, Harish. Thank you for your inputs. Let's move on, ladies and gentlemen, and have a look at some of the data that we have. Now, these are the land records that we have accessed, and there is, as I say, good evening to Shazia Almi, national spokesperson of the BJP, Anand Ranganathan, author, political commentator and scientist with us, and Kamru Chaudhary, political analyst with us, leans towards the Congress party. Namaste and Jai Hind to everyone. Now, this is the whole list. The notices issued, number of farmers, mutation done is there in column 9 and also the mutation done in column 11. There are 41 cases in the Indi Taluk. There are 3 cases in Chadachan. Total 44 cases that are now under scrutiny. Number of farmers impacted, overall 433 notices issued to 124 farmers. Now this is the document, and these are the records where suddenly overnight these mutations appear in column number 11. Now this is one of the pages, it's all in Kannada, but one of the pages, and the validity dates and the details are coming in, and column 11 suddenly the Waqf mention is coming through. Shazia Almi, the BJP is alleging that this is under pressure of Zamir Ahmad Khan, the Congress Waqf minister.
So first of all, it is not about BJP or Congress or any other party. It is who owns the land, who has been living there, and also the claims that are being made. So for once on this subject, now we're looking at very ugly confrontations from all sides, and I fear things worsening and things getting uglier. So eventually, no matter what it is, rule of law must prevail. It is not about BJP Congress. It is not about Muslim vote banks. It is not about Hindus. But what is happening now, I think all of us must learn to call a spade a spade. It is very unfortunate. And you know something, Waqf for an Awqaf, the idea of justice and the way it's done, it's not even there in many Muslim countries which are theocratic states, which actually have Sharia. So in a way, it works not just against Hindus, as is very evident now, and in many other instances. It also works against poor Muslims. And there are, if you see Rajasthan, you will realize a huge community and a large enough, more than 300 members of a clan, so to speak, Muslims, have been ousted and thrown out. And if you look at all the corruption cases, not just this one that we're talking about, but in every state born, no matter which government has been in power, you will be shocked to see that there is nothing Islamic about the way dealings are done. Private builders could be Hindus, Muslims, they take the land. Of course, person there has to be a Muslim, the chairperson, but he or she doesn't care. It is leased out. It is given on very, on the face of it, there's very little money exchanged. But of course, a lot of underhand dealings are done. And it does fat amount of good for the actual Haqdar Muslims, for which the idea of Waqf board has come into being. So I find it completely, I don't just find it against Hindus, and that is the argument of everybody. But I find it against all laws of justice, particularly Muslims, because it works against the interests of Muslims. The whole idea of Waqf is to give back to the society. They cannot name one medical college, one engineering college, 5 schools. They can't mention or tell us as to whether there is even one shelter home for any woman who's battered, who is divorced, who has been thrown out, and there is not one scholarship for children besides the Deeni Taaleem, which is the Islamic education, where there are madrasas which do, but there is no plan whatsoever for coaching institutes, for modern education, to prepare young Muslims for a better life. It is so shameful, because everybody says that these Waqf boards are grabbing and they're taking away from Hindus. My grouse, and I speak as a Muslim here, my grouse is that they're working against poor Muslims, and they don't care about any religion. They are just a mafia. And that is my biggest problem with them. So my take is a little different from everyone else's. While I understand that Hindu farmers have an issue, I'm sure it's genuine. But my problem is a lot bigger. It is only the cesspools of corruption. And this is the worst kept secret. Everybody knows this. Whoever you see on TV who speak from the so-called secular parties know they are doing the biggest disservice to their own religion. But they don't give a damn.
The Karnataka Waqf, Shazia Almi, the Karnataka Waqf has been a problem for a long time, and I remember Anwar
Absolutely, I know all about.
Yeah,
Roshan Beg.
Roshan Beg.
Yes, Rahman Khan Saab, who was a former deputy speaker, all of them were there. I know the whole story very well.
And Anwar Manapadi has done a huge amount of work to the amount of voluminous levels of corruption and mismanagement that's happened with Waqf. But this is brazen. This is absolutely brazen what's happening right now with the farmers in these talukas and under the pressure of the sitting Waqf minister of the Congress party in Karnataka. Kamru Chaudhary, your response?
Anand, quite amusingly, today I find myself on the same page as my political adversary, Shazia ji out here. It cannot be more correct when she says that the crores and crores of property that was belonging or that was given to the Waqf could not be used for the welfare of the poor of the community. And I cannot deny, because there is such a large-scale corruption going on within the board that needs to be corrected. But having said that, before coming to the specifics of this Karnataka Waqf board dispute, let me just tell you what exactly is transpiring in the deep state in the country right now. A particular deep state is out there with a story of disinformation, misinformation, to somehow or the other justify the draconian Waqf Amendment Act that was brought in by the Narendra Modi government out here. I found it draconian. Why? Because the Waqf board originally with which it was formed is being misused, no doubt about it. We have been demanding reforms within the Waqf board for long. Even I personally had led a lot of agitation. We have surrounded the Kolkata Waqf board also on these issues. But the all said and done, this is not the way to get the Waqf Amendment Bill that is being brought out and passed by citing some specific examples. Here in Karnataka,
is not the way.
No, wait, ma'am. I supported you, what you feel for the community. I empathize with you. I feel that it's a right thing that we have said that the community should benefit from the crores of Waqf property that is there in the country. But then what happened in Karnataka is a toolkit in operation to discredit the Congress party, link it with the wrong that is going on in the Waqf board, and somehow or the other find a minority appeasement angle out here to justify the draconian Waqf amendment bill that is being brought out. Why I say this? When the minister holds that he says that in the Honavad village, the Waqf board has only around 10 acres and 29 guntas of land. No farmer has got any notice, nor has the ownership of any farmer been changed. Some people are creating confusion using copies of the 1974 Gazette. They are trying to conceal the 1977 Gazette notifications and the government orders that as documents that show that the Waqf board has rectified the 1974 records. No mutations have been conducted, no record of rights, tenancy and crops have been revised. This is the Karnataka minister who has given that on statement. If there is anything wrong in this, it's better that the Karnataka BJP take him to the court.
Sir, I'm going to try and see if we can get Harish on the phone to also clarify to you what is actually being done. What's being done is that there is a column number 11 where there was no Waqf mentioned. In that column number 11 and column number 9 of the RTC, that is where the mutation is being done, and within overnight, suddenly the Waqf becomes one of the holders of the land. So then eventually what they will turn around and say is they will invoke this entire principle that once a land is declared Waqf, it remains Waqf and eventually goes back
Anand,
to.
Anand, you are.
No. I'm just saying what they are saying is in column number 11 in this Indi Taluk, there are cases, 41 cases have come from one taluka, Indi Taluka, and the Chadachan Taluka next to it, 44 cases. All of this is in the Vijayapura district, in the Vijayapura area. This has happened, 44 properties where suddenly, Harish is with us. Harish, this whole thing about the minister trying to say that no land records have been changed or ownership has been changed, and he's trying to say the wrong gazette is being put out. What's actually being done? Can you explain to Mr. Kamru Chaudhary and our viewers again, please? What is the allegation that there is an act of impropriety that's happening?
Well, there seems to be an effort to create some sort of a confusion here. There are two issues. One is from the Babaleshwar constituency. That is where MB Patil is referring to a 1974 Gazette notification, which was modified later in 1977. And that created fear among some of the villagers there holding land, that their land is also notified as a Waqf land. That is not something that CNN News 18 is focusing on or is raising issues about. What today we are raising questions about is the Indi Taluk 1, because those 41 properties haven't been contested. In fact, we have seen RTC copies going back to 1980s and 90s, where there's absolutely no mention of Waqf there. And today the government is on record saying that it was a mistake by the Tehsildar to issue them or change those RTCs without documents or without any sort of a notice. So clearly somewhere that confusion is being created where both the issues are being mixed, but these are two different issues. What the minister talks about Gazette notification is not the one that currently we are focusing on.
Right. Harish, yes, Kamru Chaudhary. Thank you for that, Harish. Yes, Kamru Chaudhary.
Yeah, Harish is absolutely right when he said that. My point is that when the BJP minister, BJP MP, Mr. Tejaswi Surya, when he did the first press conference on this issue, he mentioned the Honavada village. Now, Honavada village, the entire clarification has come out. That it's a misinformation.
Sir, I am talking about, that's what I'm trying to say. Now, you said it's a conspiracy by the deep state, sir. In Indi Taluk and this one, there is no conspiracy.
I am coming to the Indi Taluk.
Apology has been issued.
No, wait. Apology has been issued.
Tehsildar has said, sir, the mutation has been revoked.
Now,
they said this is a technical error.
Anand, you can quote that to the viewers also, that a task force has been formed already consisting of the additional deputy commissioner, assistant commissioner, Tehsildars and the Waqf officer. They are looking into the entire issue of the Waqf in Karnataka. It's not like that. I have been associated with the Waqf board for long to understand how a Waqf property is being designated, how the EC number is generated for a particular Waqf. It's not that I claim, Anand Narasimham, that your house is mine because it is a Waqf property and I am able to show some cooked up documents. It's never like that, Anand. Please do not spread this misinformation. This is very dangerous for the country.
One minute. Let him.
It is not, it's very dangerous for the country because anything and everything, even Babri Masjid was a Waqf property, but the Supreme Court educated on that, and we are fine with that because the Supreme Court has educated. But it doesn't mean that anybody's property can be claimed by the Waqf.
No, the
without
Waqf
any
has tried to claim
documentation.
Gyanwapi also,
No,
sir. The Waqf has tried to claim Gyanwapi, which was rejected by the courts. The Waqf has tried to claim that the parliament is on Waqf land. So,
I'm
sir,
not
there is.
above that. Now you go to Gyanwapi from
No,
Karnataka,
I'm just
but
trying to
forget
say,
it.
sir, for you to say that the Waqf is holier than thou and it doesn't make such claims, that is not
Never.
true. There are multiple claims.
I
There are
seconded-
multiple claims about the Waqf and how this game has been played, where somebody tries to usurp land, donates it to Waqf, and then takes it back from them at a very nominal rate, whereas there is a dealing that's been done because once it's declared Waqf, there is no challenge to the title and there is no
It's
legal
never like
remedy.
that.
There are so many
It's
cases
never
that are
like that. There
1
are
minute.
three types of Waqf.
Wha-
Three types of Waqf.
Sir-
Nobody can claim it. There is a centrally administered Waqf. There is
Okay,
a
1
Waqful Allah, Waqful Allah. There are different categories, and the Mutawalli is a caretaker. He is never the owner of the land.
Correct. So sir, that's what I'm trying to say. How the game is played. Shazia Almi and then Dr. Ranganathan, I'll come to you. Yes.
So something very small, Kamruji, just to make things very clear, all those are great things that you've said. Mutawallis ki take care and they are sort of guardians. But can I tell you, example after example, we just talked about Karnataka in great detail as to what happened just 20 years back, 2 decades back. But can I just tell you, Amanatullah Khan took over. And he took over obviously from the Congress because board will have to have Muslims. Who was there? Harun Yusuf was there. You remember the Congress leader from Delhi.
Are you speaking
Because-
about the
and you know,
123 properties? Are you
Kamruji,
speaking
suniye
about the
to,
123
Let him
properties?
complete. Let her complete,
Kamruji,
please.
सुनिए तो मैक्रो माइक्रो में ना जाइए माइक्रो से मैं मैक्रो पे ले जा रही हूँ मैं आपको स्पेसिफिक्स दे रही हूँ ताकि आप समझे ओवरऑल पिक्चर क्या है तो
देखिए,
ये
biased
बार-बार
and
जब मैं
opinionated arguments has no argument from my side.
Kamruji, I did
No,
not speak with
if you are
Let her
biased
complete.
and
I have
opinionated,
limited time.
then there is
Anand
no-
Ranganathan has not
Kamruji,
spoken.
Kamruji,
So let
then-
Shazia Almi make a point and I need to go to Dr.
So
Ranganathan.
okay, quickly, I'll make it very quick. Amanatullah takes over, files a case, discovers 32 bighas of land in Delhi. Narela was sold to a private builder who was not a Muslim, some for 2-3 lakh rupees, and Harun Yusuf sat on a lot of money. ACB took the case and the case continued. Lo and behold, so this person was trying to pick on the corruption of Congress, then took over, and now there are raids on Amanatullah Khan because of the kind of land he has sold to private institutions, private bodies. Nobody knows, no auditing has been done, but it's been given on lease only for profit. No Waqf, insaf or awqaf about
Sadia,
it.
you
So
are
let's not
mixing
fool
up two
people.
entire
Let's
issues.
not fool people.
One,
this
one
is
No,
very
no, no, no.
Waqf,
No, no,
genuine
it's just,
Waqf.
okay, let's just
And
pause here.
Another
The
is the
only
Waqf
point,
property being claimed.
no, the only
two
point is,
differences.
sir,
Jhoot.
one is that there is corruption and misappropriation and malafide is endemic to this entire Waqf across the board, whether it is to claim a property or whether to lease, give out a property or then to resell the property. Dr. Ranganathan, thank you for your patience, please. Your take.
Good evening, Anand, and good evening to my fellow panelists. It's a very interesting discussion. Please allow me to take part in it with a couple of minutes because I have something important to say. I'm afraid while both my fellow panelists, one of them seems to be a little hungry, have made excellent points. Sorry, Shazia. No, I think what we are doing is we are missing the woods for the trees. As simple as that. We're going into the nitty-gritty of some select property disputes without talking about why on earth are these disputes happening. That is the woods.
Okay.
Now, I want to be very blunt here and I want to ask questions. I don't care if anybody calls me a communal bigot or something. Anand, because I'm asking you directly. Are Muslims special people? If they are more special than Hindus, then please let me know. Are they special?
No, they are as special as anybody else.
Correct. Now I want to ask, I have nothing, as a citizen of India, I have nothing against the Waqf board or any other charity or any other trust. I have everything against the Waqf Act. Why on earth should any board be empowered to have its own separate judiciary, executive and legislature? That is the problem.
Yes.
I will give you one example. Anand, let us say there is a Hindu equivalent of the Waqf board. Let's say there is a Hindu charitable trust organization. The next thing you know is that the Hindu charitable trust has laid claim to Jama Masjid land. What do you think the next step of Jama Masjid would be? I'm asking you. What do you think Jama Masjid would do?
Go to the court.
Correct. The Jama Masjid will go to the court. But any Hindu people whose land has been appropriated will not be allowed to go to the court before it goes to the Waqf board. Do you think it is right for Jama Masjid to first... Yeah, Shazia, 1 second. Do you think it is right, morally, ethically, justice-wise, for the Jama Masjid to first approach the Hindu charitable board and say, look, okay, I subject myself to your judiciary, your surveyor, your executive and your board before I go to the High Court, before I go... What is going on? Are we living under Sharia? People like Amru, they are very sensible, perhaps they are lawyers as well. Something happens to them, they wear blinkers the moment it comes to Muslim rights. They believe they are more entitled than Hindus. It is not a question of Hindu-Muslim at all. It is a question of one citizen, one community being given excessive rights than the other. It's as simple as that. And you explained it. I asked you 2 questions. You gave me 2 logical answers. I hope your viewers will listen to those 2 answers. Those 2 answers were Muslims are as special as Hindus are. And the second answer you gave was, if Jama Masjid land has been laid claim to by a Hindu board, Jama Masjid people will go to the court, not go to the Hindu equivalent of the Waqf board.
Correct. So the Waqf Act is the issue, the attitude of Waqf or the attitude of donating to charity or for the betterment of the community is not. But is that actually happening? That's another aspect of review within the Waqf and within the Muslim community itself. And who controls the Waqf? Is it largely the Sayyids who are controlling it, the Ashrafi who are controlling it? What about the Pashmandas? What about the real people who should be part of the Waqf? So is there a game of elitism? That's within the community and that's for them to decide. Well, like you said, nobody has an issue with a charitable board and an after which is wanting to do something.
Correction. 10 seconds correction. The Waqf board are controlled not by the community, by the government appointed executive. Chief executive officer is directly appointed by the government. For your correction.
Sir, no, the chief executive is appointed, but who controls that cabal? And like there is a system that still controls how we are treated within across the board. So who controls that system and within who holds the power and the holdings? That's what that is something. Why should there be a Waqf Act? Let's do away with the Waqf Act and that should how it should be. And anybody should have judicial recourse.
Who manages the Waqf properties?
Sir,
if there is no Waqf board, who manages the Waqf properties?
There is a difference between the board and the act, sir. The Anand Ranganathan is drawing issue with the Waqf Act. He is not drawing issue with the Waqf board. No, they are not intrinsic, sir. Then how is it that there is no equivalent for Hindu charitable institutions? How is there no? Sir, the rules under our country have to be the same for every citizen. It cannot be. It cannot. No, we should not. The right to equality is sacrosanct, sir. There should be equal justice.
This is not a question of right to equality. This is the right to freedom to practice.
Okay. Anand Ranganathan, I'm going over, but yes, final response. Anand Ranganathan.
Is intrinsic to the religious beliefs of the Muslims.
No, sir. Waqf Act is not. Waqf board is. Waqf is. But the Waqf Act is not. Waqf Act is not, sir. Waqf Act is a political game that's been played. Yes, Anand Ranganathan.
If you are opinionated, I can't help it, but it's not the way.
You are also opinionated, sir. You also holding to your opinion. I'm just saying that there is nothing against charity and a Waqf board or the act of Waqf, sir. It's a very noble thing as a thought process. But is it being implemented as nobly, or has it been given certain level of protection which is unequal to the rest of the citizens of the country, to the non-Muslims of the country? Yes, Anand Ranganathan.
Yes, I hope I will not be interrupted by Kamru because I am in total agreement with him. I now demand from the Modi government an equivalent of the Waqf Act for Hindus. Number 2, I demand from the Modi government that mosques be taken control of just like Hindu temples are. Will Kamru agree? हिम्मत है तो बोल दो. सेकुलर चिल्ला रहे हो. अब आ गया ऊंट पहाड़ के नीचे.
बाबा एक चीज बता दे रहा है, जयपुर डायलॉग से लेकर ये स्टूडियो में बैठकर नहीं होता है. सुनिए मेरा
no,
बात सुनिए।
don't take personal jibes. It's not required. आप
I'm
कहाँ
sorry.
बैठते हैं? आप कहाँ अपने
I'm-
personal time में बैठते हैं? कोई किसी को नहीं कहता है। कमरू, तो please, if you
Okay,
want
I
to
take
take
that. I
personal
take
jibes,
that.
everybody
I
can
take
lower
that.
the level of
No,
discourse. That's not
I-
expected here.
Kamru,
That's not
I take
expected.
that.
That's not
I
expected,
take
and it's
that.
regrettable
I
that you
take
made
that.
that. Please,
I
Yes,
take
very
please.
regrettable. I want to
Point
say
is here,
something.
See-
Anand, the basic
No,
point I
Anand,
cannot.
We are all
basic
making
point.
arguments
I
here.
want
We
to
are
say
all putting out
something.
points of view,
My
and we may be
main-
fiery there. Nobody is taking personal jibes.
No,
Please
I
don't do
want
that.
to. Yeah, exactly.
Anand ji
Anand, I
just
want to
has
say a small
told
thing.
what happened to
Anand,
the
I want to
mosques
say a
of the
very small-
country.
No,
Who is
Kamru,
managing
listen
the
to
mosque?
me.
It is the Waqf board
Yeah, who's
managed
managing
under
the
the Waqf Act.
Sir,
Nobody, there is no
if
private
there is a
management for the
similar,
mosques out
if there
here.
are similar boards for all the
have the
other
same
religious
thing going on.
denominations, sir, most of the institutions which the Waqf claims of its own, it will date back to much before even Waqf existed, and it will go back to those particular religions like Baudh, Jain, and Hindus. And then what will happen? You will not be allowed to go to court to seek recourse. You will have to go to the Hindu charitable board, the Jain board, the Buddhist board. Not to anywhere else.
And Anand,
Not to
Anand,
anywhere
one more
else.
thing.
So that's what I'm trying to
Anand,
say.
Anand, one more thing.
Okay.
It is Kamru and his party which talks about the Samvidhan all the time. And look at this, how asamvidhanic it is. What Anand is saying is something very logical.
Correct.
If
Sir.
Muslims have it, if Hindus have it. I mean, there's nothing to do. I mean, you don't have to feel a sense of
Sir,
outrage.
sir,
But
It's
you
very
cannot
fair.
make a
I mean, and
comparison
I,
As per the
Muslims have it, so
11
you
judge
should have
bench, 11 judge constitutional bench, the minority is supposed to be a state subject. The fact that there is a national commission for minorities and there are minorities affairs minister in every government itself is wide constitution and the Supreme Court ruling, sir. So let's either talk Samvidhan or don't talk Samvidhan. If you talk Samvidhan, then let's correct all these errors. That's what we are saying. Thank you very, very much. I've got to wind up on that note. Way over. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, it's a fascinating, fabulous Make in India story, ladies and gentlemen, that we come back with as Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates the C-295 aircraft manufacturing facility in Vadodara. And how will Bharat's first privately built military aircraft transform defense capabilities? We tell you when we come back. Stay with us.